Have you ever been curious how Pokemon reprints actually work? Have you ever been at Walmart and seen more stock on the shelves and thought, hey, Pokemon must have just reprinted the set? Well, not so fast. I've been collecting Pokemon cards for 17 years. I've ran a store for 6 years. And today, I'm going to clear up some misunderstandings I commonly seen with reprints in the hobby. The difference between printing and restocking. Now, this is one that a lot of people are going to argue with me in the comment section about. I even had one person tell me, well, if you say, well, it depends on your definition, it means you're just trying to make filler. Well, no. It's very important we are discussing things on the same terms. It's very common to have a discussion with someone and you're using different definitions or different meanings in a word, and then you're having two different discussions. You can never come to an agreed solution or understanding. So it's very important we define the terms that we are using. So printing. What I think of printing is when the actual machines are going burr. Right? They're actually popping out new cards out of the machines, okay? A restock is when product moves from one warehouse to another warehouse and then to stores, okay? So, I get constant messages asking me, how long are they going to print this set? When are they going to reprint it? So, typically, I can guarantee you a set will be printed between 6 to 8 months. Okay, so a typical print run will be 6 to 8 months guaranteed, I say. Guaranteed is the key word. Now, before we get going, let's start here. One of Pokemon's goals is to keep products on shelves through competitive rotation. So if you look, do I have any cards? I don't have cards up here. If you look at the bottom of a TCG card, there will be a letter or number down there that says what competition block it's within. When that card is within a competition block, it's still being allowed to be played. Pokemon wants that to be available in sets. So when they print a set from that 6 to 8 month window, they are typically saying, we want this product available until this is out of rotation, which is typically 2 to 3 years. So their goal is to have those products available at Walmarts, Targets, maybe not LGS's, but they want it available for that time period. So while they're printing, they're gauging that. They're looking at their palette of packs, being like, all right, are we going to have enough packs to really stick in all these different products? Okay, so that's ultimately their goal when they're printing. Remember, Pokemon don't print products, they print packs. So when they are creating an EX box, they're not printing every pack and wrapper independently. They're printing the box. They're going over to pallets of packs that they have. Maybe they stick them in a machine that sorts them. Maybe they legitimately go over there and grab them. But they're not reprinting individual pack and sticking it in an EX box. They're not doing that with a premium collection. They have stacks of packs that they printed initially that they start moving around into products, okay, that they grab off of, versus printing actual packs in a product. So it's very important to understand that. They print packs and cards, not products. So when I use the term reprint, it's when they're specifically printing more cards to put in packs. So that will usually happen for 6 to 8 months after the product's been released. After that, do not expect those printers running much more after that. Now, I say 6 to 8 months, those are guaranteed time windows. Now, I've seen Pokemon print up to 2 years, but that's usually dependent upon if they've had shortages or other issues with a product. Take Roaring Skies, for instance. Heavily competitive set, no one could get it. So, years after, they started reprinting the set. Evolving Skies, same thing. So, if there's shortages and people can't find the product, they will reprint. That's another thing. Let's clear that up. When people can't find the product, yes, that's true, but it's less that and more Pokemon has decided we want these packs for a certain amount of products. So they go to that pallet that all those packs they stashed on, and they're like, okay, let's make a new EX box. And they go, oh, crap, we are out of those packs. That's when they reprint. It's not that they hear John in Minnesota went to a Walmart and couldn't find a single pack. They go, oh, crap, reprint. No. They look at, okay, we need packs for these products. And they realize, oh, we don't have enough packs for products. That's when they will start reprinting, okay? Now, those kind of work together. So if John can't find packs in Minnesota at the Walmart, that's probably a good sign that packs are getting more and more scarce, and meaning there's less and less product. Meaning if they want to print more product, they need more packs. So they do work together, but they're not exclusive to one another or dependent on one another either. So, but again, a pack can be printed for 1 to 2 years, okay? That, again, dependent on if Pokemon has supply of those cards. If Pokemon has a warehouse full of those, they're not going to start reprinting those sets. It takes a lot of time and effort for Pokemon to stop the printers, throw on an old set, and start reprinting that. That's a lot of work. And considering Pokemon always has a new set coming out, that's something they really can't afford to do. That's why a lot of times we'll hear rumors of reprints around the holiday season because they're not printing a lot. So now a restock is just finding more products on the shelves. So I hear all the time, well, I've seen product from Sun and Moon 4 years after it's released, so they're reprinting it. No, again, they didn't reprint it, they restocked it, okay? To some people, this doesn't matter. They say, as long as product's on the shelf, who cares? True. But as a store, and someone who I think definitions are extremely important because we can be more precise with our language. Those Sun and Moon packs are not being reprinted. They did not print a single pack to be boxed up into a new EX box. They didn't do that. They had left over on that pallet. They go, let's use these. Okay? That's how MJ Holdings gets a bunch of those packs for some of their bundle boxes. They look at a pallet. They go, oh man, we got some packs left over. It's not a lot. We don't really want to start up a new EX box where we got to produce millions of them for everyone in the world. Let's sell them to MJ Holdings. They'll take them. Right? That's kind of what happens. So, now a restock could be something like distributors are out of product. Pokemon calls them up and go, hey, I'm going to send you more booster boxes, right? And suddenly distributors have more product on the website. And that's how I can usually tell, or my distributor can tell, is that they just get more products sent to them from Pokemon. That's a restock. Pokemon had those in warehouses and they sent them. A reprint, Pokemon will typically call up my distributor and be like, hey, we are going to be reprinting this set. How many do you guys need? And then the distro will start contacting stores and be like, how much do you guys need? And then they'll take orders again. So that is something that rarely happens. Doing this for 6 years, I think I've only ever had that happen 2 times where they actually asked, how much do you want? We're going to have a reprint coming. Okay. The rest are stock dumps. Now, there's possibility of small reprints, right? Where maybe Pokemon reprinted like a few and then they just toss them to the distributor. But again, all this is coming from my experience and talking to my sales reps and several managers at the largest Pokemon card distributor, Southern Hobby, to get this info. Pokemon is a very efficient machine. When they stop production to switch out things, that means things are not being made anymore. That costs Pokemon money. When they print something, they want to print a lot of it. Okay? They want to print a lot to maximize their profit because every second those machines aren't running, every second they're not printing that new set, it's money to them. So, for them just to reprint 10 booster boxes per store, I have my doubts on that. Where I've seen actual reprints. Fusion Strikes was a good example. Evolving Skies was a good example. And when we got allocations for the reprints, they were almost equivalent. Well, I say almost equivalent. They were on par with release. Ours was not. Ours was massively bigger than release, and that's simply because we had grown as a store and grew our allocations. So, but they were more than what the release was. It wasn't like, okay, here's just a little bit to hold people over. It was like, no, this was bigger than what came out during the release. There was more at the reprint than release. That's a true reprint, okay? Again, restocks, Pokemon could have been holding them. Distributors could have been holding them. Or your local store could have been holding them, okay? So, maybe distributors been sitting on a few because that's something. Now, not in the sense people talk about that they just hoard product. The distributor, when a product releases, they got to send this all out to people. Well, what if a pallet or two gets destroyed going to Timmy's Emporium in downtown Nebraska, right? Well, he needs the product. He can't, as a store, just go, oh no, it's destroyed, I won't get no product until the Harper just goes, well, yeah, sucks to be you. They hold product back, so if something gets damaged or lost, they will make those people whole, okay? That's one thing I love about Southern Hobby. They will take care of their stores. So they do hold product back for that, and then a little time goes by, then they'll start putting it on their website. We start grabbing it off their website. So now again, another restock can be from Pokemon themselves, where they just keep that pallet of packs out, and let's wait. And then all of a sudden, it starts getting low. They're, all right, well, we need a product out. We really got plenty of packs. We don't need to make a new EX box with Sun and Moon. Here, let's do a few Guardians Rising ETBs out there, right? Now, there's a few ways you can actually check this. So there's a few points that tell me for sure it's a reprint. One, distributors reach out to stores and asks, how much product do you want from this reprint? Where it's stock, it's just whatever they get, they're going to dish out or let you grab. Two, you'll see new batch codes on booster boxes and ETBs. So when we get cases, sadly I don't have cases, there'll be like a little barcode, and you can actually see which ones are batched with. So if it's a completely new number, that's a sign it was a reprint, not a restock. Third, retailers everywhere has the product now. If you only see a few stores get products here and there, that's more likely a restock than a reprint. When everyone gets it all at once, that's a reprint. They treat it just like a release. Again, people will constantly tell me I'm splitting hairs here. I've seen packs in stores for 3-4 years. Okay, I get it. That's cool. As a store owner, it's very important to understand this stuff for me. Even if it only increases my business efficiency by 1%, that is worth understanding for me. Now, if you're a serious collector, same thing. This can really help you understand, oh, there's a true reprint coming. Again, look at Roaring Skies. That's true reprint. When Roaring Skies hit, that booster box was very expensive to get, and all of a sudden it was dirt cheap. For years, it was dirt cheap. Battle Styles got a true reprint. That thing did not increase in price until recently because there was so much of it out there. Vivid Voltage was selling like $180, $190 a booster box. No one could find it. They did a true reprint, and that thing was dirt cheap until recently again. A true reprint for collectors will be to say, hey, sell your boxes now at the higher price, or wait and buy so much more once the reprint happens for a lot cheaper. Now, you may have to wait for a while, but you'll get it for dirt cheap prices. So that's why it's important to know as a collector. Where restocks typically are very small in nature. So let's wrap this all up. For sure, you will see a Pokemon set being printed for 6 to 8 months. For sure. Where they're going to keep coming out with more and more products. You could see booster boxes reprinted during that time. We'll hopefully see that with Journey Together soon. But after that 6 to 8 month window, unless there is a shortage, we will not see more booster boxes printed. You may see a few stock dumps here and there, but you're not going to see a large quantity re-hitting shelves after that. Pokemon purposely prints so there is stock for around those 2 to 3 year marks. They don't want a set selling out within 6 months. So that 6 month window, when they're doing that printing, that 6 to 8 month window, they're really seeing what demand is like out there. So they're like, ooh, okay, this product is not going to last 2 to 3 years. So make those machines purr, right? And they just get them out there. Where if they're saying, okay, it's not really selling very well, it's not going too much. Okay, hey, we got enough. This will last us the 2 to 3 years. Cool. So Pokemon just wants enough products on the shelves for 2 to 3 years. As long as that happens, if they don't feel there's going to be enough product in that time, that's when they'll keep those machines going and print a bunch more to withhold, to make sure they have packs for that 2 to 3 window block. 2 to 3 year window block. This is why you always see products from 2 to 3 years ago in EX boxes on store shelves, because they planned out having product for that long. At minimum, Pokemon typically wants a set to be available until it rotates out of competition play. Once it's out of competition play, I think I've only ever seen one set in history ever get reprinted by Pokemon after it was out of rotation. And I think that was Roaring Skies. correct me in the comment section down below. What set was that they reprinted after it was out of competition rotation? I don't have that in front of me. But that's only ever happened one time, and I'm no idea why. Maybe there was a delay during printing, it just didn't hit till later. So, but that's only ever happened once. So typically after rotation, they're not going to print more because that's half their fan base who don't need it. They're just going to focus on the new set. So, they want to keep products on shelves between that time. That doesn't mean they're printing that entire time. Highly inefficient. So, I hope this video helps you understand how printing works a little better. So when a new set releases, you know, okay, I have 6 to 8 months to really find this product before it's going to be a little scarcer. It's going to constantly go downhill after that 6 to 8 month period. Now, maybe I'm full of crap. My years of experience doing this, all the people I'm talking to have been lying to me, and Pokemon just has a magic machine that they click and packs pop out like that, and then they move all the ultra rare cards out of it, make sure all the cards are damaged so you can't get a PSA 10 card, and it's all a giant conspiracy theory and we're all screwed no matter what. So, comment down below what you think about Pokemon printing, and I will see you guys next time at Bulbacards.